Hello and welcome, whether you are returning or joining this channel for the first time. It is so good to have you. Before we dive into today's video, I do have to address a couple of things here. First, it's obviously been a while since I've uploaded. For those of you who aren't aware, I actually had a pretty severe migraine attack at the end of March and beginning of April, and that's why I didn't post any readings last month. I really tried to get stuff out to all of you, and even after the migraine attack, I was in what's called a postdrome or migraine hangover, and it was really just difficult to express myself, and that's actually what I was having before I had my attack as well. So hopefully if this ever does happen to me again, this was the first time it's ever happened, I'll at least be able to know the signs. However, this sort of does lead me into the second announcement that I feel like I need to make. I really do feel that moving forward, I am going to separate the tarot and astrology into different videos for the signs. So I will still be uploading, and in fact, potentially uploading more. But it really just became very apparent with this migraine attack that I've put myself under so much stress and strain, and I've really tried to fit everything into these neat little boxes, and honestly, it's very challenging for me to do, and I feel like moving forward, I would really like to go back kind of to the root of where I began, where it was more of an intuitive style read, while still also using astrology as well, because I do feel like they're both very useful tools that can help orient a lot of things for us. And so I think sometimes too these messages can get just like repetitive, and of course I feel like whenever I do a tarot reading, it's always going to incorporate astrological elements anyways. That's just how my brain works. But I think it's nice to kind of dial that back and just let that more flow in naturally. So that might be something that may not even be much of a big deal to all of you. Maybe it's just kind of a bigger deal to me because I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I appreciate all the support that you have given this channel, and actually a lot of people did reach out to me, ask me how I was doing, and I really, really appreciate that. If you would like to support this channel, definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification. That not only helps you stay up to date with what's in the cards for you, but it also helps spread these messages and energies that you may think be helpful for other people. So they're kind of your tools as well. And I do have a link in the description of this video for my website where you can book a personal reading or distance Reiki session, as well as links for all of my other social media accounts. Pisces, I'm wondering if you've been collaborating or in some sort of leadership role. While I was tuning into your energy and shuffling the decks for you, I did have a couple of cards fall out from the tarot deck. We had the Three of Pentacles coming out with the King of Swords together. And Three of Pentacles is this energy of collaborating, working together, gathering intel, resources, getting people on the same page. And the King of Swords may be your energy. You may be actually kind of getting things done, leading other people, putting things together, being a very clear communicator, which is kind of interesting. It feels like not necessarily the stereotype of your zodiac sign, but you've been getting stuff done regardless of what role you have been in. Maybe some of you are also just working with other people. There could be an air sign that you are collaborating with, particularly Aquarius. Could also be Gemini or Libra. And it's just interesting. I feel like you're very focused on getting things done. I'm curious to see what else comes out for you, but this just feels like an overall theme for you in the month of May. What do we have for Pisces here? And as I'm shuffling, I will just give my friendly reminder that these are general readings, meaning not all of the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you specifically. It's up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. If this just does not resonate with you at all, it's totally fine. Nothing went wrong. It just means that this message wasn't meant for you at this time. There could be something in the videos for your moon or rising sign, however, so it may be worthwhile checking out those videos if this just doesn't really give you much, or if you need clarity on something else or would just like a little more information. Anyways, Pisces, what do we have for you in the month of May? For the past, we actually had 3 cards come out. We have the 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords in reverse, along with the 6 of Cups. So a lot of things happening. These 2 cards actually came out together. And with the 7 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, maybe there's been some sort of like money quarrel or like something involving finances, and maybe you were expecting money to come in, or there was some unexpected expenses, which, looking at the astrology, would make perfect sense for the month of May or April, because we did have Mercury retrograde. We did have Mercury moving backwards in the sign of Aries. And for you, Aries is your astrological second house of finances, security, values, your assets. And so there may have been something going on here that was a bit unexpected. It could potentially be involving another person with the 6 of Cups as well, although this kind of feels like a separate energy, because the 6 of Cups is often about reconnecting with our past, our inner child, or maybe old relationships. So maybe there's something involving money and another relationship or another connection, but again, this doesn't feel super related to me, if I'm being honest. Maybe you've just been kind of in a healing place or in kind of a nostalgic place, reviewing things, reconnecting to people and parts of yourself, really getting back to what matters. And even in the 5 of Pentacles, it's like these 2 people have each other. This it looks like a mother and child have each other. And so even if there was some hardship or some difficult things, it's like seeing that through with other people has been important. Maybe you've been helping someone else as well. What is the 6 of Cups doing here? What is the 6 of Cups doing here for Pisces? Interesting. Some of you may have reconnected with an ex, or like an old relationship. That might have been something that's happened as well. Just because, again, 6 of Cups really can be about reconnecting with people. Page of Cups in reverse, or really Page of Cups upright, is usually a romantic offer or someone you have courted. Maybe it feels like you got closure. It was a good month to get closure on something. And maybe that had to do with the eclipses. Mercury retrograde is kind of this notorious time to reconnect with old people or kind of hear from things from the past or hear from people from the past, kind of tying up loose ends. So that might have been something for some of you as well. Again, this feels kind of separate to me. I feel like these are just 2 different things that have been going on recently for you. I am also just noticing the 4 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Again, it does suggest that maybe finances have been a bit tricky for you, or maybe you've just not been able to... You've just needed to be a bit more mindful about spending or finances. That's just been something that's kind of been on your mind. Money may have been on your mind. And the 4 of Pentacles can also represent to holding on to things from the past. But I do feel like there has been some closure that has happened, if that is the case, or that is something that you've been working on. What else do we have for Pisces? Show us clearly, please. We do have a new moon in Taurus on the 7th of May, which is all about communication, ideas. Maybe that's why it feels like it's a good month to collaborate or work together with people, get things done, especially if things have been kind of disrupted or there's been some minor setbacks going on or some expenses. It feels like you're getting a handle on things. And it's interesting, Pisces, I really feel like you are stepping up in a very big way this month. Interesting. We have the Queen of Cups with the Eight of Cups coming out together. I do feel like there could be some emotional conversations that you're having. I do get the sense that you've taken some space from somebody, or again, there could just be this like reconnecting to somebody from the past. But it does feel like you're moving forward. You have the closure to move forward. And if this didn't happen for you in the month of April, it still could be happening in May. But I feel like there's just been this theme of closure or kind of like resolution in your life. And I feel like you've really moved or come a long way. And maybe that's part of like, maybe that's how these two different things are connected. Maybe you're handling things in a different way, and it's even by connecting to someone or something from the past that you've seen how far you've grown. Like, even though things might have had some challenges or some hiccups, I almost just get the sense of like you or even someone else acknowledging how much you have grown emotionally and spiritually. And just because you have to walk away from something doesn't make that any less valid. That's just for some of you, though. I have to ask, were some of you connected to Cancer, another Pisces, or Scorpio, or just some very intuitive spiritual connection? I really do get this energy, or this almost like a message, like, yes, there is someone in your life who is no longer part of your daily life, but they're still kind of part of like your soul family, or still part of your life in a deep and significant way. Maybe you did move away from someone, or someone had to move away from you. But there's just this very beautiful, like, it's still a beautiful connection. Even if it didn't end up developing into something or growing into something for the future. This kind of does feel romantic to me, to be honest. So I'd be very curious to hear if some of you have connected to an ex, or at least like an old dear friend. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you really are getting stuff done this month, Pisces. This is a really good month for manifestation in general. We do have Venus and Jupiter both in the sign of Taurus. And again, Taurus energy for you is all about communication. And this could literally be a good time to speak out or write down the things that you are trying to manifest or create. It does feel like there is a stable new beginning. There is money coming in. So if there has been some sort of challenge, financially, or just feeling stable or secure, I do feel like you are feeling more grounded in the month of May. There is some growth here. There may be a new offer or new beginning, or just getting on your feet, which we love to see. And it feels like you're just very practical this month, or you're, that's kind of the advice, and there's a lot of growth. It feels really good. It feels like healthy, like earth sign energy. I don't know how else to describe that, but just very present, very adaptable still, very grounded. Maybe there are some money quarrels still with the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. That might still be a bit of a challenge this month, which does make sense because we have Mars, Mercury, so communication, maybe aggression, passion, drive, all in your Aries second house. So there still could be something here where it's like, you may feel like you're still fighting for stability, but this really doesn't feel that bad. I feel like you're working things out. It may not be the most graceful process even, but your head is in a good place to do this. And I think that might be this King of Swords that I pulled before we started your reading. You're just feeling very clear to me. And it's almost like there is no failing. And there could be some changes that are happening with work as well. We do have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, which is again the same day that Jupiter and Venus come together. This is a great period of manifestation and manifestations coming true. Even if you don't normally do manifestations, it's a very powerful and accessible energy for people right now. So that might be something that's worth looking into. Also around the new moon is traditionally where manifestation is very powerful. But this full moon feels very, very different. It's very, very lucky energy overall. Jupiter and Venus are both benefic planets, and them coming together, it's like this expansive, wealthy, loving, beautiful energy for you happening in communication or the mind, or just having some sort of realization. Maybe there's even like creative inspiration for you at this time, or you're just being struck with this brilliant idea. And then with the full moon in Sagittarius, there could be some sort of change that's happening for you in your career or in your role. Ooh, we have the King of Wands. Yes, I do feel like some of you are being recognized around this time. Maybe this is bringing some more abundance your way as well. There was something else in the astrology I wanted to talk about too. So Venus and Jupiter are actually sextiling or forming a 60-degree aspect with Neptune in your sign. So this really is kind of like your intuition is giving you great ideas. And maybe there is something creative here or something that you are expressing. It just feels like your soul is guiding you into a very powerful position. There may, again, be some quarreling, which that's kind of, if I were to describe the month of May in a sentence, it's like May is an incredibly lucky month, and there may also be some conflict and tension going on as well. There could be some egos that are getting rubbed the wrong way, but honestly, Pisces, you feel completely unfazed. You are kind of picking and choosing the battles for yourself this month. There may be a lot just that's going on, because it does feel like you are getting stuff done. I just gotta say it, I keep hearing the song Boss Ass Bitch in my head. That's kind of the vibe for you this month. And for those of you who are creative, there could be some sort of inspiration, or your intuition is just giving you a really good idea by the end of this month, by the second half of May. And I mean, one of your ruling planets is Jupiter. So whatever Jupiter does is a little extra important to you, Pisces. And it's actually going to be entering into the sign of Gemini as well. That's happening on the 25th. And for the rest of the year, there are blessings coming in the form of your personal life with home, family, your emotions, your inner child. So there are some really beautiful energies that you are stepping into and growing into. In very traditional astrology, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which is the traditional ruler of the fourth house. So it's like the best place for Jupiter to be. And being a Pisces, things kind of shift over a little bit because your fourth house is Gemini. But nonetheless, there is a lot of stability. The foundation of your life is really growing and expanding this month and for the rest of the year. And we have your card. We have the Knight of Cups. This is all about you stepping into your own energy, listening to your own intuition, and creating from that. It also feels like there's just a lot of harmony and flow with the people close to you. Having those heart-to-heart connections, you feel more present. That, I think, is the word I've really just been circling around and just landed on, and it's like, yes, presence. That is what Pisces is feeling. You are feeling very present and very, very grounded this month. And I love that this card showed up because it's like you are really just in your own flow by the end of this month, Pisces. And there may be some very shocking revelations that happen. I just want to tell you that because we do have Mercury and Uranus coming together right on the 31st. May almost be more for the June reading, to be honest with you. But there could be some very surprising news as well. Something very unexpected, but it feels like there's some growth that is tied into this as well. So there may be some good news or just some very surprising news nonetheless. But I feel like the most important thing and most beautiful thing is that you are in your flow. I just felt like I needed to end off and say that as well, add that in. I do want to pull some oracle cards for you. Let's pull an animal card here. What is the energy for Pisces to embody in the month of May? We do have the bear. Love to see this. This is kind of like Queen of Pentacles to me, which did actually come up earlier. It was technically in reverse, but it actually kind of starts to make a little more sense because bear often is this like awakening that's going on. It's this coming out of hibernation into springtime. Maybe things are still a little groggy or you're not fully awake yet, but consistency is key. Bear is also a master of resources. They really use the environment and the season to the absolute most. They're very, very resourceful, and that's kind of what I'm getting for you. Like, you're very resourceful this month. You're very solution-oriented. And it's like, yeah, things might even be a little slow, or they might have been a little wobbly to start, but you're not letting that phase you, or you shouldn't let that phase you, Pisces. This is the energy for you to embody, okay? And some of you really are going through this awakening, something that feels really, really organic and natural at the same time. Anything else for Pisces? I want to pull a moon card for you as well. We're still doing pretty good on time. Any other messages or pieces of advice for Pisces in the month of May? Show us clearly. Is it one of these two? I'm just going to do both. Okay, communication is key, new moon in Gemini. We were just talking about communication. That's very, very important for you this month. There could be some new ideas or brainstorming that's very important. We do also have the new moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success. So I do feel like communicatively you are in kind of this leadership energy. I really was getting that for you, Pisces. And I mean, even though neither of these new moons actually happen this month, we do actually have a new moon in Gemini in June. So there could be something that you are looking forward to around then that will be June 6th. There could be some new communication or some answers or clarity. But I mean, even in Taurus energy, again, for you, Taurus is your third house. It is all about communication. That's just very, very important, very thematic, could be bringing lots of blessings your way. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to kind of sell yourself this month, because I think you have a lot of skills, you have a lot of insights that could be very useful. So don't be afraid to share your insights or your wisdom with people or your experiences. I just feel like that's kind of important with these two things. Like, don't let yourself clam up. Um, and also speak from the heart, because Leo rules from the heart. It's also a very creative energy. So again, I really do feel like there's something creative that you are working on, which feels really, really exciting, or there's just a lot of passion for something that you're doing. There's a lot of inspiration. You're very inspired this month, and you may even be inspired to lead in some way that surprises you. But anyways, Pisces, I think those are all the messages I have for you this month. It feels like May is a really solid month. It feels like you're really stepping up in some way and feeling very good. So I do hope that this is a welcome message, and I hope it gave you some tools, some advice to get there if you're not quite there while you're watching this. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it all the way to the end here. It not only helps support this channel and allows me to continue putting out these messages for all of you, it also helps this video reach other people who may benefit from it as well. So it's kind of your way to spread the love. You can find a link in the description of this video for my website, where you can book a personal reading or distance Reiki session. And you're more than welcome to check out the other videos on my channel. Maybe there's something in your moon or rising sign video that could be helpful for you this month as well. And with that, I bid you adieu and wish you a beautiful and very lucky and blessed May. Take care, Pisces.